If you are under the full retirement age, the Social Security Administration has a limit on the amount of earnings that you can receive while you are also drawing a Social Security benefit. This limit catches a lot of people by surprise, and the income limits change every year. In this video, we're going to cover the income limit for 2019. Since the income limits only apply to those under full retirement age, it's important to understand when your full retirement age is. For those born between 1943 and 1954, the full retirement age is 66. This gradually increases all the way up until birth year 1960, at which point the full retirement age is age 67. So there are three bands that apply to most individuals. The first is simply if you are under full retirement age. For individuals there, the earnings limit is $17,640. If you exceed that limit, the Social Security Administration will withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 that you exceed that limit. Again, at full retirement age, there is absolutely no limit on the amount of earnings that you can have. There are billionaires right now who are collecting their full Social Security benefit. One of the exceptions is the year that you attain full retirement age. In that year, the earnings limit goes up and the withholding amount increases as well. So one of the exceptions to the annual limit is in the first year you retire. The Social Security Administration refers to this as a grace year. And in that year, they use a monthly limit instead of the annual limit. For example, if you have a job where you made $50,000 from January through July, and then you retire, all of those prior earnings for that year would not be counted towards the income limit. It would only be the monthly amount of earnings after your retirement. So in that year, you would clearly be well over the annual amount, but because you didn't exceed the monthly amount after your retirement, the earnings limit would not apply. So when we're talking about the earnings limit, one of the things that I'm often asked is, okay, Devin, so I can't have earnings that exceed a certain amount, but what actually counts as earnings? So if we look at this in a broad sense, what counts as earnings is employment income and net income or net earnings from self-employment. And I want to circle back to those net earnings from self-employment in just a moment because you have to be very careful with this. Then we have the income that does not count, and that includes pension payments, annuity payments, IRA distributions, dividend income, interest income, capital gains, and really that's just a small list. There's a whole lot of other special payments that you can receive that may or may not count. And in the description below, I'll put a publication from the Social Security Administration that talks about these other special payments. And you want to read that if you're getting anything like deferred comp or a number of other things. So let's take just a moment and talk about how this income limit can be applied to self-employed individuals. There's a rule called the Substantial Services Rule. Generally speaking, if you work more than 45 hours per month in your business, the income limit will be applied to you regardless of your earnings. However, if the work is highly skilled, as little as 15 hours per month can trigger the earnings limit. Under this rule, they're not necessarily looking at profit or loss from your business. They're looking at how much time do you actually spend in the business. That's how they can classify if you are really retired or not. Whether you are self-employed or not, you don't want to cross the earnings limit. In many cases, they'll catch it right away, but in some cases, it can be years later. And I can assure you that you do not want to receive a notice of overpayment from the Social Security Administration. Trying to unravel those and make sense of those letters, it's almost impossible. My advice is if you've already filed for benefits and you think you're going to cross the earnings limit, you need to voluntarily suspend your benefits. And for every month you're not receiving a benefit, the amount of your future benefit will increase, so you're not completely missing out on benefit checks. Well, I hope this video has been valuable for you. If you haven't already, please check out the other videos on my channel and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.